So, hi everyone. I'm Nick Moretti. I've actually been a new user for Meskula. I've been having a lot of fun lead genning, which is great. But I've been getting some really great successes. I'm also a team of four, so I already have agents under my team and all that kind of stuff. As I logged on, I started, starting to get success. And I want to share that and share some of the stuff that I'm doing to get the in-person CMAs in order to help, everyone grow their business here.
Let's go.
Okay. So I'm just going to get right into it, guys. A little bit about me. I'm I'm a D personality. I'm very direct. I'm very, I'm going to say it like it is. I'm probably going to swear. I'm going to try not to, but I'm Italian, so it happens. That's kind of who I am a little bit more. I've been in real estate for about 7 years. I actually started solo for the first little bit. And then I actually joined my mentor's team, maybe 8 months to a year after, been on that team for 2.5, 3 years. And then once the pandemic hit, I actually went solo in that pandemic in May 2020. So scary jump, but very thankful I did it. With all the training I had, leadership, I was pretty much ready to do it. So jumped off there. In the first year, did about 250 GCI in 8 months, and then the next year after that I did about 420, and I hired my first sales rep.
I think we lost you, Nick. You hear us? Oh, we love tech.
I thought it was my internet. I was like, not again.
Let me see what's happening. How's everyone doing? I'll take control once Nick gets his Wi-Fi back.
Yeah.
All good. Everyone have a good morning so far?
Yeah, doing great. Just take my dog for a walk right now. So
it's Nick
listening in
there.
on this. Yeah, it's me.
Let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm trying to order shirts for all of you. So
what, really?
Yeah. I'm doing some wild stuff here, but I'm sending you some goodies later on. But
that'd be awesome. I rock that every day.
Do we have Nick back here? Still connecting, I believe.
Hey Nick, how's your dad?
Yeah, he's
Can you
just
hear
in
me?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. So anyways, 1 million plus. Which is really exciting. Going on this journey taught me a lot, taught me how to script properly, taught me how to do
weird day, huh?
I go with
Nick, you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Now we can. I think it's cutting off a bit, but
sorry, I think it's on my end, but I'm on Wi-Fi and it says I have full bars, so gotta love it. But yeah, so I was just saying that, obviously in this journey of real estate, doing what I've been doing, up and downs, but the best piece of advice I can tell everyone here is don't take the highs too high and don't take the lows too low. Meaning, if you have 3 listings that you signed this week, don't be a douchebag and brag about it to your office. No one cares. Okay. If you are, having 3 deals blowing up in your face, don't take it personal. Don't take it too much. Breathe, go do some activities, go to the gym, do something, and then come plug back in because everything will work out. Okay, let's get into the mindset of these leads. So the mindset of these leads, you have to understand they're from social media. They're ads on social media. So ads on social media are low-hanging fruit. I would treat these people like open houses, okay? When you go into an open house, and I'm sure everyone here has done open houses at one point or another, is that correct? Yeah, okay, perfect. So with doing that, as we know with low-hanging fruit, there's going to be people who are interested, but some of them are going to be representative and some of them are not. And now those are free agents essentially. So we have to remember that these people are conveniently clicking on these links, clicking these forms, and trying to find out a little bit more information about how much their home is worth without actually talking to someone. So you have to understand that mentality, right? Basically, it's like, think about how I've been doing really well with leads is I've been always putting myself in the position of that lead. What would I want to feel or what would I want to do in order to get, someone to message me? You know what I mean? Or to get a really good response from the lead, right? I always put like, what would I want to hear? Obviously, we're all different, but that's kind of how I do it because at the end of the day, yes, there's 1 million people that are going to buy and sell real estate, but out of those million people, you're not going to get everyone because you're not going to connect with people, right? Like you can't connect with everyone and get everyone, unfortunately. That's the mindset I have a hard time unwrapping, but it's true, right? Some people are just, even though you come professional and you're positive and you have the stats, you're, a local expert, some people just might not like you, might want to work with you. Like, it is what it is, right? So we can't take those things personally. So it's more so of just getting just getting the mentality of like, you probably are not going to get maybe answered for the first little bit. You probably might, they probably, depending on how your scripts are, if they're not good enough, you might get rude people, right? I mean, regardless if your scripts are good, you probably get rude people. It is what it is. But it's okay, because remember, you're weeding out through the people, right? And when someone tells you no, for me, it's a relief, because I don't have to follow up with you anymore. I'm going on to the next one. So hearing no is also a good thing, because you know who to not put your energy into anymore, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I feel about it. Just before I start going on to some other topics, how was, like, I know we have a few people on the call, but what's your kind of mentality when it comes to, these leads? How are you guys or girls feeling about, the mindset of how these leads are coming in? Do you agree with me, or do you find another mindset? This is, like a collaborative group. So, the only way that I can help you is to answer your questions effectively and give you the proper advice. So feel free to open up, share, because that's the only way you're really going to get help, right? Because this is like a coaching session right now.
Nick, I agree. I'm Patty and
Hey,
Havasu.
Patty.
Hi. And I agree with you. I think, if they don't want your help, I always say next, because
Exactly.
like you said, there's a ton of people out there, and I don't have the time or the energy to waste. And, sometimes it takes a while. I've spent some good time just even recently, and they ghost you. So I
Yes.
just bombard them till
Yes.
I basically
Till you get the
wait
fuck
till
off, right?
Thank you. I was just going to say the F you until they tell me. I'm waiting for that. I don't like it, but I'm waiting. Go ahead,
Yes.
do it, because I need that closure so I can
To
go
move on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm happy to
Exactly.
hear that.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel good when you get a lot of them, but you just got to kind of move on, because there are so many more people. I just looked at all the new listings, and I'm like, how come I didn't get one of those? Where was I? But
Right.
I didn't even know those houses were going up on the market. So
Right. But okay,
yeah.
so that's great. And just to let you know, Patty, like how I measure my team success is I don't measure by the outcome. I measure about the conversations, right? How many people did I have conversations with? So basically, to let everyone know, what a conversation is like, okay, so we have a sheet, and I'll show you guys next time. But basically we have like a weekly sheet, right? It says calls, how many contacts, texts, emails, social, like some of our all the team holds lead gen. Sorry, I can't speak English here, but our team's lead gen, one of our lead gen is social media. So we have a goal for social interactions, and then other, right? Like, if they come through open houses, whatever, you're connecting and following up. And then we have a sheet in the back that says notes. So any leads that you talk to, I put the note in, their name, whatever, in points that we said. If they're super hot, I highlight them. And this is really great, because 5 weeks goes by, and guess what? Now you have a sheet of paper to go back to. And sometimes we're all human. We forget who we talk to, right? So I try to jot down these things as fast as possible. But what is a contact? What would everyone think is a contact? What would be a contact in real estate? Does anyone have any questions, or any, how do you, what is your definition of a contact? Anyone here? So what a definition of a contact is basically like, I want to say hello, let them know who I am. So my scripts are usually, hey, this is Nick Moretti calling. I thank you so much for, joining, for clicking on our, sorry, it's Nick Moretti. Thank you so much for clicking on our ad regarding how much your home is worth. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I would love to learn more about your house. Can I just verify a few more information? Whatever, right? If they talk to me and they're good, that's a contact. If I say, hey, my name's Nick Moretti, and they say, fuck you, and hang up, that's a contact, because they rejected you. So then you move on. So my team's daily goal is 20 contacts per day. Sometimes it takes a lot. So that doesn't count calling 100 people and no one answers. That doesn't count. It's just shitty luck. You just got to stay on the phones more, right? But that's kind of how our team does it. Because look, 20 contacts a week times 4 is, 80, or 5 weeks of the time, sometimes it's 100, right? Out of those weeks, if you're contacting 100 people, you have to have at least 1 to 5 people that are really good leads. You have to. Do you know what I'm saying? So I measure our team success by contacts, not how many listings we signed today. Because the problem is with how many listings we signed today or how many buyers we're taking out today, the problem is if you're getting conversations with people that are not there yet, because you have to remember, these online leads are usually out from 3 to 18 months. Right? Sometimes you'll get it done sooner. Great. You're a rock star, super proud of you. But most of the time it's a relationship-based game and it's going to take 3 to 18 months. So as long as you get that mentality that this is not a today sale, which could be, which is great, but as long as you have the mentality that it's not, and it's a future month sale or whatever, then that is the winning mentality, because now the lead is not going to feel pressured and they're going to feel like you're coming from compassion and, wanting to help, which is what it is, right? Because we all know what it feels like to have that commission breath where it's like, hey, are you ready to buy and sell? Are you ready to buy and sell? Are you ready? Like, people don't give a shit about that. They want to know they have a problem. Our job as real estate agents, I call us not real estate agents, we're professional problem solvers. Because cool, you get a deal signed and you get it accepted. It doesn't mean it's done yet. And sometimes in that transaction, there's going to be shit that comes up that you can't control that shouldn't ever fucking happen, but it happens, right? And it's your job to manage your client's expectation, take out the fire, and bring them to the finishing line seamlessly. Right? And this process gets easier and easier as you do more transactions, because you know exactly what to look for. You know what wording needs to be done in the contract. And 3, your confidence is going to go through the roof because you'll know all that stuff. And like for me, when I talk to new leads, they already know that I know my shit, because like, listen to how I'm doing my calls right now. Like, I'm passionate. I'm here. I'm giving you the reasons. I'm giving you the options, and I'm letting you know what to do next. Right? So those are things to keep in consideration when it comes to the mindset of these leads. So I built my business based on relationship based, not be the person 10 years always calling, because if you're transactional, if you're not calling, you are not making money because people don't like you. Like, you're just transactional. It's just, you're here to do the transaction. You might be a 1% agent, 1.5%, whatever. This is no diss to anyone who does that right now. But I would recommend you not, and trying to find more value on your packages and get 5% or higher. Like, that's what it is here for us. Because remember, people who discount their commissions, they're discounting. This is my favorite line, okay? But they're discounting because they can't play on our field, because I'll eat them all day long, right? So the other thing, so this is what I tell clients that, and I also tell them, like, listen, it's also a red flag that the market standard is, let's say $10,000, let's just say, and now someone's going to do it for, $5,000 off. So basically, they're going to do it for $5,000. So basically what they're saying is, I'll give you $5,000 for you to work with me. That's a red flag. Like, you're giving me money to work with you. Why? Like, that's scary. Why? You know what I mean? Obviously, if they're doing it that way, you have to understand that they're not going to put all the time and effort that I would be putting. And, they're going to be cutting corners, because there's no way that they're going to be able to discount their fees and still provide the same level of standards like I do. So these are all great objections and things to think about. Maybe you guys are here, maybe you guys are not, but I'm just letting you know the mindset of how people are just before I go into the next one, right? So that's kind of that. What I can do is, just before, because I record my calls just to showcase how I'm doing it. So I actually been on, I think, Meskula, correct me if I'm wrong, Eto, only a month for now. So in that month, I've gone
a month.
Yeah, right. Excuse me. In that month, I've gotten 66, I think, leads. Okay, hold on, because we're also in February now, and it's a couple weeks. So call it like 50 leads. Call it. Out of those 50 leads, I've gotten, I think, 8 booked phone calls. Okay, and out of those 8 booked phone calls, like to talk about their house or whatever, I've booked 7 in-person CMAs. So that's great, right? So just to let you know, like, I know how these leads work. I built my business on online leads, so that's why I know how this works. And that's why I thought I would share my success and some of my strategies with everyone here, so that everyone here can get a little bit more successful, right? Because that's what it's all about. Eto's such a great leader, so is Karen, that they're giving other, people like myself, who are willing to share opportunity to share with our colleagues, because also we're not all in the same area, and there's so much business around for everybody. You know what I mean? So I'm just super happy that I can help other people because I'm a coach myself and I really do love helping agents like you and I. So just before I go into my kind of strategy and stuff like that, like I said, like I could talk about what I do all day long, but it's not about me. It's about everyone on this phone call and how to get everyone here more success. So just before I go into like my scripts and all that stuff, can anyone who's brave enough talk about, you know, what happens when a lead goes in on their end and what they say in that phone call and kind of what their scripting is?
Yeah,
Does anyone
excited to hear because we do have a few agents. Like, I don't know, Amanda has done online leads. I know that other people haven't done too many online leads. So it's very interesting to hear how everyone is approaching it. For sure. You guys open up your mic and share whatever you can with us.
Don't be scared. I don't bite. Sometimes I do, but now's not the time.
I think if you can handle my voice, which is too early here,
It's all good.
I like to share that that I'm loving this program. First of all, for everybody, I think I have about 6 or 7 realtors call me about this
Nice.
program, and I have talked highly about that because you know all these people, Michelle, Karen, Etu, they're really really nice. Who does this? First of all, that's just amazing that I'm on this platform. That's my big take for now. Anytime I go on to talking to these people on my leads, I have like over, I don't know, $300,000 worth of leads in my pipeline, which is amazing.
Nice.
Yes, converting to them, as you said, Nick, this does take time. It's not like an overnight thing. But the way I do business is I have a lot of people that are looking into buying. So I'll put the 2 and 2 together sometimes, and then it works in my case, not specifically about these leads, but most of the time. So, but with these leads, what happens is you got to nurture them. And I am always like one touch here, one touch there, one way or the other. I'll just pop by. I'm like, hey, I'm in your neighborhood. I was just thinking if you want to just grab coffee, I'm open to any questions that you may have. People have, it's just a great success so far. I have a lot of people that would call me just because of that. Some people have even called me, hey, my husband's just being annoying. What do you think? I just need to do this, like some very personal questions to a level that I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not freaking a counselor.
I know.
But anyways, sometimes we realtors do have to wear multiple hats to kind of get to
Yes.
this level. And the best for me is not to pressure anybody, not to push anywhere. As you said, Nick, I'm very, as well, I'm not a transactional. I'm a very relational kind of person. I have to kind of know the family. I have to know the dynamics. I have to get
100%.
in that way that people feel comfortable, not pressured.
I'm happy to hear that. You got the right mentality and you're going to go super
you.
far.
Thank you.
So if you don't mind me asking, because you're brave up here, how's your scripting when someone comes in and you're getting a phone call booked? And like,
Yes.
remember, this is not word for word, but if you want, just go through your mindset of that stuff, because I'm going to share my calls, my live calls. So just so everyone can hear what I'm doing.
Perfect. What I normally do is I tend to talk a lot less about myself. I just want to know what they have to say. And then I repeat that. It anchors in their mind that I'm listening. That works. That helps me. Hey, you know, remember you were saying that day that I said this? It's always very good for me. When they do ask about me, they don't need to ask about me when I'm in the same neighborhood. They know about me. They can go on my social media. They can go whatever. They have, what happens is they have heard about other people when they talk about me. Oh, we talked to Daisy. They're like, yeah. We talked to her too. So it kind of brings it together for me when I talk about them rather than myself. Mine is always like, hey, I don't ask them how's your day going on because that's not what they want to hear. Just normally the weather and stuff is our main thing when we talk about here in Vancouver, BC. So it kind of starts from there, and always just like what is hurting them is what my main focus to bring out of them. Like, why do they want to do that? Main thing that I feel, Nick, maybe you can help me out is here is that our prices were so inflated where I am.
Yes.
The mentality is still up here to that level, and it has fallen about 23 to 24%. Most of the time, that is my biggest challenge, to bring it down to the numbers.
Because they see the high numbers, right? That's why.
All there. It's still the change. They haven't changed it because our markets in BC, I don't know where you're from, is
I'm from
such
Toronto,
that
so
it
we're
doesn't.
similar.
It doesn't impact as much. It does go down, but it comes right back up to a level. It springs up. Like now we had multiple offer situations. Like we had 52 offers at one property. We had 11 offers. So it's back up at it again, but the prices have fallen.
Yes.
Bring that to par with the sellers is a tough one for me.
Yeah. So I think how I can help you is really what it is because it sounds like you're a experienced agent, which is great. So basically what it is like you have to remind, like I'm a heavy listing agent as well, right? So basically I have to remind them like, okay, listen, I understand like a year and a half, you're seeing these big numbers, but you also have to remember why it was happening. It was because we were in like unfortunately like a huge housing crisis. We're still in a housing crisis because remember in Ontario, like you're in BC, but what I usually say is in Ontario, the thing is that we don't have enough homes for everyone here. So regardless, we have a demand problem. The reason why homes have been, being a little bit more slower or buyers' confidence has not been there is because of borrowing costs. We have a man-made block. It doesn't mean the demand's not there. It's there, but we have a man-made block. There was so much interest rates rising, I think 9 or 10th consecutive time, and up to almost 3% up increase, which is different, right? And you have to remember that as interest goes up, it hurts buyers' purchases power, right? So that goes down. And you also have to remember back then, people were just throwing the highest offer possible, and it was kind of like super crazy, right? And remember, these things don't naturally happen all the time. That was just like a little magic wand saying, this is what's happening. Right now, what we're seeing with our offers, even it's 40, 45, 50, they're not like, there's still offers coming in, but like there's going to be more at under listing, at list price, a little bit higher at list price. And then you have 3 or 4 playing to win, but they're not coming 400K over asking. They're coming like 175, 200K at most. So it's just educating them. And once they see that and they see the numbers, and you also show them past listings that sold then and what they're selling now with the average market stats of like what it is then and what it is now, this is what it is. And we have to remind them that we have to understand that like your house is not worth $3 million. If someone's willing to pay that, that's great. Have to come because the banks won't give them that much money because your house is literally not worth that much. You know what I mean? So we also have to be conscious about how much someone is giving us and learning a little bit more about their finance, because what if the appraisal comes in short? Do they have the money to come up with it, or are you going to have to go back on the market, which is not what we're going to do? And that's our job as listing agents to grill on the other end, right? Some things are going to happen, but if you take the time and all that stuff, you shouldn't have any, like I haven't had any closings that fell apart like that before. Sometimes things might happen, but like anything I can control is that. So that's kind of more so of like what I would do to bring them down. And I think it also comes down to like how your listing appointment goes, right? So for example, before I get into these calls, what I'm doing on my listing appointments is this. I'm bringing 3 things. I'm bringing like a folder. Okay. This folder is going to have like the first 2 pages of my listing package, because it just talks a little bit about that. It shows the recent here, I'll show you right now. Just because like I can say all this, but I think it's easier. I'm more of a visual. So it has like the first page, right? The second page about like what the property is, because remember, like we were saying, like it's relationship based. So you can do the listing appointment, know that you're getting it, but they're not ready to sign in 3 months, 6 months. So you have to remember what you said. So like I'm showing the market stats. So basically like what February is, what year to date is. If it's a detached house, I'm bringing detached market price, right? Like what that is. I'm bringing the subject property, and I'm also bringing the comps I use for my book. Right. So, and then I'm printing out, I don't know if you guys have it. Ours is Geo Warehouse, which gives you land title stuff. And I'm printing all that stuff out. So I'm coming in with that. I also have a hardcover book. I don't have that with me here because I did 2 CMAs yesterday and I don't have them here, but I'll show you that on next call. And then I'm also bringing, like some of you guys might not have it, but I'm also bringing my past sales book. So these are listings that we just recently sold this year. Right. So we're just showing it. And then this is last year. Right. So we're literally showing. So this is where I'm coming from. And I like, these are still listings. Like I'm still going. So like, this is just to show people like, look, I am qualified. I know what I'm doing. And like, sometimes what you're thinking is wrong. I'm going to tell them like I'm going to be honest with you. Like, if you're thinking that you're on the moon, I will let you know you're on the moon. You know what I mean? So those kind of things. So to answer that question, I hope I was able to help you a little bit more to learn and help them bring it back down. But remember, some people you can't help. Some people are crazy. Like that's just what it is, right? But if you're showing numbers and you're showing logic and you're showing stats and you're showing real true comparables and they still want $3 million for your house, you're a crazy seller. And there's nothing I can do until I can, like what I would be doing next is anytime a listing shows, I would be emailing them and beating them down in their price, showing what sold.
That's good to know that you do that. Sometimes I do that too, but not to that level. The best for me that works is the appraisal point where I say, you know what? If the appraisal doesn't come out to that price that you're asking, and let's say the buyer does, agree to pay you that price, would you be willing to kind of give them that discount? that the banks are not going to lend them. Or if they don't have the money, the house is going to go back on the market and you have to do all the cleaning and all the showings again. That does sometimes win me. But majority of the time people are like, no, let's just give it a try. Let's just give it a try, or whatever the case may be. But most of the time people are not willing to even sign the listing contract because you tell them the honest truth.
Yeah. I feel like depending on what it is, I feel like even with myself telling them the honest truth, they do still sign. It just depends on where they are in the process. Right.
That's true.
So I think that's what it is. It's that, and also the relationship that you build with them. If they really truly like you and trust you, they're gonna honestly understand what you're saying, and they're gonna agree with you. Maybe the timing's not right, so they won't sign right away. But as long as the relationship's there and they like you and they know that you're spitting fire and you're right, they're gonna trust you. And anytime they see a property, they will call you, and that's what it's about. Also, we have to remember too, like when it comes to this kind of when it comes to this kind of topic, is you have to remember a lot of buyers right now cannot afford overpaying for a property. Do you know what overpaying for a property is? No? Okay. This is what overpaying. No, I'm not saying you. This is the script, right? This is what it means. It means that if the appraisal comes in short and you have to put additional money in, that means you overpaid for a property. Right now, with interest rates going super high, we need to make sure, like, buyers are scared for short appraisals and overpaying for that property, right? And overpaying for our property, if they went over, they need to come up with another 50 to 100K, like, how are they going to do that if they're already crunched and already gave you the top number with their deposit, right? So we have to know, and especially like once we sell your house and me taking care of you as the buyer, I'm going to make sure I'm doing the comps to make sure that the appraisal doesn't come short and you don't overpay for a property. And furthermore, you're probably going to get that best deal on that property. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of bring it back like that, because when you start bringing it like that and saying like that, unless they're crazy, like they're going to understand. You know what I mean?
Some of them are crazy.
We're all crazy, but like it's whoever is as crazy enough that you can tolerate to work with, right? Like that's what it is, right?
Like-minded can do the business, I guess.
Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of my live dials, like one of them right now. I'll change them out week to week so you guys can see different stuff. But give me 1 second. I will showcase one of them there.
I feel like I've had a few chats, right, with some of the agents and about those crazy people. like no, I called this guy and I don't know if it was Amanda or maybe it wasn't Amanda. No, it was probably somebody else, but it was just like, yeah, no, I called this guy, but it was Serena. Yeah, she's not on here. But yeah, I think we didn't really connect. So it was just this guy with this crazy topics, and it happens, it does.
Yeah.
But like Nick said, you got to find your crazy.
Exactly. Your crazy tolerance. Because look, this is what I tell people. I can deal with crazy, but I can't deal with crazy. You're crazy. I can't work with you. Like I really can't. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you a call about this type of topic. A little backstory just before I get on there is basically this guy used an out-of-town agent, and it was a 1% agent. Royally bent him over, unfortunately. He bought a property, a single car garage in my area in the Height, was selling for like 111. He bought this for 1.230. And also the agent didn't let him know it was a linked property. So he thought he bought a detached property that I had to break to him. So this is a really good one to do. So I'm going to have to share my screen and share my sound. So give me 1 moment and I'm going to get this done. 1 second. Let's see, share sound. Okay, so this is the call. So basically, they booked a time to talk to me, and this is that call that we're all getting. So when people go onto our ad, they follow through and they actually want to book a time for you, this is the call that I'm having with them, okay?
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, hi.
No problem.
So my phone hung up for whatever reason. So you guys know I have shoddy internet right now, so that's what basically happened. So I just called them back for a quick sec.
Sorry, I live in Bowmanville as well. I live in Liberty and Longworth.
All right, hold on. I'm going to switch it. I'm going to do the first call here.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Is this Satyaki?
Yes, this is Satyaki.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm living the dream, just like you.
I always try to open them up. That's the icebreaker, right? So for me, you want to do whatever's authentic to you. I tell everyone I live the dream, because literally I am. Like I'm living my best life. So anyways.
It's actually just Nick Moretti giving you a call. I just want to thank you so much for, booking that time for us to chat, and for me to get to know a little bit more about you and, obviously about your lovely home. So what I was doing is I already took a look at a few things. Basically, like, you guys purchased a house last year at 23 Staples Avenue. Is that correct?
Right.
Yes. Okay, cool. So based on the photos that I'm looking at, like you have Brookfield, which is in 2003, which is nice because it's a newer construction home, right?
Right.
Have you guys done any other upgrades to it? I mean, like the house is pretty.
Yes. We did. Like we upgraded the kitchen. Hello.
Okay.
We painted
No,
the. We paint.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So we upgraded the kitchen. We put spotlights in the kitchen. We changed the lights in the living room, main room, and bedroom.
Okay.
Right. And we decorated the house and made few other small little changes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a nice house, to be honest with you. It's really nice.
Right.
Did you change any of the carpet in the bedroom?
No. Okay, so let me go back here. He did. He's telling me he's doing upgrades to it. So what I'm doing is I'm checking out. Okay, so if I spent that much money and he did renos, okay, what are things that I would change? I would change the carpet out of the bedrooms. I would do all these things. So I'm asking him about his property, which is giving him more trust, showing that I'm professional, that I've done my homework, and now he's giving me more information and letting him talk.
No. We haven't changed the bedroom carpet. But we put curtains and other stuff.
Right. You made it look like a.
So this is when like the call like breaks up, as you can tell. And obviously, like I'm doing a great job with shitty internet, clearly, and he's still willing to talk to me.
So you
Right.
probably know that the reception is not the greatest sometimes in Bowmanville.
Right. Okay.
Yes. So sorry about that. So basically, the market's changed a little bit because I saw that you guys purchased it last year in February for
Right. And yes, 1.2.
1.23. That's what it says, right?
Yes.
Like 1.23.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think right now, with like some of the comps that I pulled, I think you're probably looking towards more so like 950 to 1,050,000, maybe a little bit more. But it's a
Kicked him right in the balls.
little bit hard to know exactly, just because yours is a 3-bedroom, like 3-bathroom footprint, right? Which is 1.5 car garage. I understand you're a 3+1 and 4 washrooms, but you have like a a bedroom in the basement plus a washroom in the basement, right?
Yes.
So generally, like some of the houses that are similar to yours, maybe 4-bedroom, 3 bathrooms above ground. So they're going to be bigger square footage.
Right.
Do you know roughly how big your home is, like above ground?
No. Above ground means without the basement.
Exactly. Yeah.
Without the basement, maybe somewhere close to 1,800, 1,900.
Yeah, and then with the basement, you're probably at like 2,600. So you still have a pretty decent square footage. Because the house is
Yes,
big.
we do have a decent square footage. The bedroom, my master bedroom, is pretty big, and the walk-in closet is also pretty big.
Yes.
It's not a small walk-in closet that I have. It's the master bedroom. The walk-in closet in the master bedroom is pretty big.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
and the master bedroom washroom is also pretty big.
Yeah,
the
it looks
finished
pretty big from
basement.
here.
Yeah, and the backyard is pretty big. Like I know houses which are 4-bedroom, 4-washroom, which are almost of the same lot size or a little more than
Yes.
what we have.
Yes. Yeah, I understand. I totally understand. And you know your stuff. The thing that you have is
Right.
really nice curb appeal, and you're also in Curtis too, which is going to help you sell a little bit more higher. I think for me to give you more of a narrow down that range, because obviously it's hard for me to see everything just based on the last photos. Would you be
Right.
open for me just to coming by, just to do a quick tour of your house, and then I can narrow down that range, and that range could increase once I see it. It's just hard to just go
So
based
okay,
on
let's go back.
photos,
Sure.
right?
So basically, I gave him a Timbit saying like, hey, you know what? This range could go higher. I just need to see it. Do you know what I'm saying? Just to get myself in the door.
Not planning to sell anything right now because I'm
That's
going to wait for another 2 years.
Yeah,
I
that's
know
fine.
the prices have changed because of this whole interest rate hike.
Yep. Yep.
So I would expect interest rates to go down by the end of next year.
Yep.
Right. And it should come down to 3.5. Hopefully the prices will pick up.
Yeah,
Right.
I think they will. Once inventory goes down, I mean not inventory, mortgage price, like interest goes down. In my opinion, I agree with you. Prices will go back up high because we've learned that with low interest fueled more prices, right? More higher prices. And like
Right.
at the end of the day, right now in Ontario, we technically don't have enough homes for everybody, right? So we
Right.
still are in a seller's market. right? The only
Right.
problem, the only reason why we're not seeing those crazy price points as what we had before is because we have a man-made block, right? And that man-made block is the government, increasing rates so substantial and so in such a fast time that it scared buyers' confidence, right? But what I can tell you is that with our last 4 or 5 listings that we just recently introduced to the market, all of them has recently sold for pretty good, like top dollar. So we're seeing buyers' confidence pick up again, because the thing is buyers were waiting for too long, right? We've
Right.
noticed the shift started in like September, October, where buyers were really like not interested in real estate. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then coming now, like literally in the last 2 weeks, we started seeing a lot more interest. For example, a few of our listings, but one of them to note is we had actually one in Oshawa that we took over from another agent. The agent had it for 6 months and only had 6 showings. We came in 7 days, we had 120 showings plus and 25 offers, and we sold almost 200K over asking. So like our client's number was 800, we got him 821.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So it's coming back. It's just
So
really hard
with
to
the
know.
lot size and whatever you see right now, the current price is around 950, I would expect.
I would say about 950 to 1,050,000 just for me taking a look, because the thing is it looks like you only have almost about 30 foot frontage. Right?
Right.
So usually you usually like to, how to increase just on the lot size is the bigger the frontage is, the bigger the more pricier it is, right? So you're kind of
The
like
bigger, the what?
the bigger frontage. So right now you only have about 30, like under 30, like 29.5.
Bigger the frontage means?
Frontage means like the front of your lot, not the depth, the front. So
Okay,
like,
okay. Yeah. So the front is front. Okay, so it's 29.5. So is it decent enough?
So you
it's-
guys
it's
can
a-
already
it's
hear.
decent.
He knows I'm the professional. He knows what I'm saying is correct. Now he's like, oh, well, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? Because later in that appointment, when I went to the house, his agent didn't give him the right information. So this is where I'm talking about building trust, building all these things out front, showing that you're a professional. Because once you show you're a professional and you're asking the right questions, they're going to open up. They're like, wow, like he knows what he's doing.
But generally, if you're getting single car garages now in like similar ones that were built around your square foot, like your age, like in 2003, you're generally getting between like 28 to like 37. And then once you have 40 plus, you're
So
usually getting
product
a double car
knowledge, you need to
garage.
really know your product knowledge before you do your calls, right? Like you need to know everything about everything, be a local professional about everything. Oh yeah, like when even people ask me about things in the area that I work in, oh yeah, that's a semi. Oh yeah, that's a attached. Oh yeah, that's a detached. Oh that those are pretty nice homes in that street. Like you need to know and look at all these things, and this is only going to happen as you do more and more transactions, because they're all the same at one point, right?
Right. Yes.
So, but you have a good depth of your lot, so it's good. Do you know what I mean? And you have, it looks from the photo, it looks a little bit more private than most, especially with the gazebo in the back there and stuff. So
Yes, it's pretty big. It's pretty big because the neighboring houses are also smaller compared to what we have in terms of depth. Stuff.
And your brick looks really nice compared to your 2 neighbors on the left and right side.
Right.
Right? So you have good curb appeal, which is definitely really great to have, right? And that's why I think for me is like I need to kind of see it just to narrow that range, because even though you like, let me ask you a question. When you purchased the house, did the appraisal
This is a
come
great
short
question.
or the appraisal came just fine?
Sorry,
when you purchased the house, right? When you purchased this back in 2022, when you were about to when the banks did the appraisal come back fine? Did you have to put extra money down or no?
No, I had to put a little bit of extra money down to get the appraisal done, because what happened is, because when I got when I bought it, right, at that time houses here were selling for 1.1, 1.17. Right?
Yes.
But I had to, because we were searching, because I had to sell a house and we had only 2 months of notice to buy another house and move in.
Yes.
So that is why I had to put in a little 40,000-50,000 more, because at that time it was 1.17, 1.15.
Yeah.
The same house in Bowmanville sold for 1.15 and 1.266.
Yes.
Because we were seeing houses in Bowmanville and here.
Yes.
And so that's why we decided, okay, let's not wait and let's put 1.23, because my appraisal came at 1.15.
Yes, I understand. Because that's what I was thinking, because obviously based on looking at this, like, I think that you did spend a little bit more money than you should have, but I understand what the timing was, right?
Right.
The question is when this house sells, whenever you do it in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whenever that happens, are you looking to still stay in the area? Or are you looking to go back? Because it looks like you used an agent back in like, I think it was on the West End, right?
Yes. So say 3 to 4 years, 4 years, 5 years, I will stay here, and I would be expecting the market to get better. Whatever price I have, see, I'm also paying mortgage, right? So
He's also on variable.
hopefully, I
To make this even worse.
would expect maybe 5 years down the line it should reach somewhere 1.5.
Yeah, I think that, or it could be a little bit sooner, because in the last 3 years, three and a half, 4 years, the market's been going up and down really high, and
Right.
it's going down. But as it goes down, you're still up a little bit than where it was, right? So
Right.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think that like right now, technically, let's just say let's easy numbers. Let's just say based on the online assessment, let's say $1 million. Now to get you to the extra $500,000 difference, I think that you might be waiting, depending on how the market goes. Obviously, I think anywhere between like 4, maybe 7 years.
Yeah.
Because
4
remember,
to 7 years. 1.5.
yeah, that's what I think. However, I don't like it could happen sooner depending on what the market is. Because the thing
Right.
is like Clarington, you bought in a great area, because Clarington is like an old city, yes, but it has a lot of new construction, which is keeping the price high.
Yeah. That's right.
So
You know,
building a lot
and
of like,
also too,
he
I'm
knows
finding-
I know what's right? So it's just showing you're a local professional and showing that you know your product. And that's what really helped this call. And that's how I got the listing appointment.
that buyers overlook Oshawa, even though there's great prices there, because they don't like the stigma attached to Oshawa, even though it's changed.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. But what I can do is, you know, and I understand that you're not looking to sell in the next like year or two. I get it. You're looking to recoup your money, and then once you start making profit, maybe then you'll start looking to go somewhere else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Did you do a 5-year or 4-year fixed at a low rate, or are you on variable?
Mine is variable. That was the problem, but I think it
Yeah.
will start going down.
Yeah, I agree with you. But let me ask you a question. Whenever the time is right for you and your family, and you guys do sell, where do you guys want to go next?
Sorry.
Whenever I understand you're not looking to sell right now, but when the time comes, you know, the 7 years, 4 years, whenever it happens, where are you guys looking to move next when you sell this?
And the reason why I'm asking is
Okay,
because
well,
this is how you connect people, right? Connect the puzzle. Okay, you want to sell in 4 or 7 years? Okay, cool. But when you do sell, where do you want to go? And this gives them more of the mindset of like moving. So that's why I asked these questions.
See, I have a daughter. I have a daughter who is like 2.5 years old. So I would be expecting like by 5 years, 6 years down the line, once she is 8, 9 years old, when I have to move to a city where the schools are really, really good, and I would prefer to go on the eastern side. Which place has got the good schools?
I would say like you're already in there, to be honest with you. Like Curtis, Bowmanville does have really good schools as well too. It really just depends on
This call's
like
only a minute longer.
what is a good school to you? Do you know what I mean? Like obviously there's a website that I can send you that gives you the score of every school. So
No, I would expect like Whitby does have good schools, right?
Whitby does, yes.
Whitby and towards the west, because I'm not, but I've heard Oakville is a very good city, but then it's too expensive. Am I right?
Yeah, like it just depends on where you're going. If you want really, really good schools, you're looking at Markham, because Markham Stouffville has good schools there, like really good schools, and it's new construction there too, and prices will keep pushing up. But if you're looking to stay on this end too, like there's some really good schools in Whitby, but there's also some good schools in Bowmanville, like Clarington, where you're at right now too. Oshawa, there's good schools too, but you have to pick which ones. Not all of them are good.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So just to give you that information. So what I can do for you, if you're okay with it, is I don't know if you're available next week, because then I can just do a quick tour of the house. I have a booklet that I can leave with you. I understand that you're not selling. I understand that. So like, like I'm not.
Yeah. Come anytime.
Yeah.
Come anytime.
Okay. So hold on 1 second. Can I just check my calendar and then I can let you know 1 second?
Anyways, you guys get the gist of it. So basically that's what happened. So it was great that we talked about overpaying and all this stuff, because literally that was one of my calls. And usually people would say no at that point, but I built such a good intro, good product knowledge, showing that I'm a local professional, and also diving into information that, you know, that makes him think about certain things, right? And then also building a relationship and asking him here, where do you want to go next? Obviously, he needs to stay to recoup his money. When I went to his house and I did it, he wants to buy an investment property in a year and a half, and he wants to do that with me. So that's where I'm saying you don't know where these opportunities are going to lie. And in the meantime, as I keep him up to date, I will get that listing. So it just goes to show that like everyone's going to be in all different areas. But I think like what I do before I even call anyone, just as a benchmark, is I'm pulling up the listing in front of me. I'm put like the listing that they bought. I'm also pulling up recent comps. I'm also pulling up market stats so that, and I'm also pulling up another page on MLS for things that currently are available. So when I'm calling them on my two screens, I have all the information. Now it's me listening, making sure I'm a ninja, asking the right questions, and then boom, give them the information. Boom, give them the information, whatever. And then they're like, wow, this guy's like a robot. How does he know everything? Do you know what I mean? And that's how you build trust, and that's how you build great success in order to get these leads to get into the door. And once you get in the door, you're pretty much good, because you remember most of these leads may not even have someone else. And that's where we come by relationship. If you're the first person, you give them really good information, you go in the house, you look professional, and you do what you need to do, it's done. Like if this guy was ready to sell, I would have got the listing signed. I was there for 2 hours. So how do I benchmark how well the appointment goes? If the appointment goes under an hour, I don't think it was good, in my opinion. Sometimes it happens fast and I still get those listings. I'm not ever under an hour, but let's just say if it does happen, I don't feel like it's good. If you're there from an hour to 2 hours, I feel like you have good success. If you're longer there for 2 hours, then I'm pretty sure you locked it down. So that's kind of, how it works on my end. So, I would love to open the floor to see how everyone felt about it. Like, what was any aha moments that you learned from this call or that call? Or, is there any other questions that I can help you script and kind of give you a better, pitch when you are calling these leads? So, whatever you guys need, I'm here for you. So yeah, let me know what it is.
That was really good, how you were engaging him and he was replying back to you. That's what I find is a success already.
Right.
That's the main thing, when you are on the same page and they're communicating back with you, rather than saying, sorry, gotta go, or,
Yes.
and you don't know what you're talking as well. I think
Exactly.
that was really, really good how you maneuvered your way through it to his brain. And I have a feeling he will never forget you, and you are
Oh,
his
definitely
your
not.
agent now. So he will
Yeah.
always, that was really, really cool, I thought.
Yeah. Thanks so much. And I have him on like searches for his investment property and helping him find Airbnbs now. That's what he's looking for. So, that's where it's at. So yeah, I'm glad that you like that. And I hope that you guys can take something away from that call to help you with your calls. But if anyone else
Sure,
has
yeah.
anything or whatever, like if they need help with their pitches or whatever, please let me know. I will help you do it now.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, for anyone that's going to open their mic up next, or if Daisy has something, definitely I would say calls that you've been on with these leads that maybe Nick can hear out, and Nick can maneuver, see if he's been on a call like that or what scripting ideas he has. I think that's of great help for everyone. So yeah, bring him on.
Yeah. And remember, this is like, a circle of trust. No one's going to think that, you're shit or you're really good. Like, we're all going to think we're all really good. Right. But like, I'm only here to help figure out the problem and help you get through those objections so you can get more success and you can make more money. That's what it's about. Not me, you.
Definitely. I don't know. Is Patty opening up? Let's see who's up next. I'm just looking at your mics.
So Nick, what would you do if you are in you said an hour to 2 hours thing. I have done 2.5 hours.
Yes.
It came to a point where they're offering me, because they need to go for smoke. They're both smokers.
Yeah.
And they want to go smoke, and they're like, here you go, Daisy, let's go outside on the deck and have a smoke. I'm like, I don't smoke. So how do you say no to the smoking part?
Yeah, I always just say like, hey, you know what?
I'm
Like,
just
let's
kidding.
start getting to that point. I look at my phone and I'm like, oh, okay, you know what, guys? I really appreciate all your help. I actually have another appointment at 4:00 that I need to start going to. But like I said, thanks again. Did you guys have any other questions just before I leave? And I'll let you guys get to your smoking and chill out. Like, that's kind of how I would maneuver it, right? Always say that you have an appointment. I find that the word appointment people respect. Anything else, I feel like people don't respect.
I agree. You got to show that you are so busy, not busy in that way that you have no time for them, but you're busy enough that you can be there smoking on the decks after the
No.
appointment.
I'll smoke with you, but you better sign this listing appointment or sign
Yeah,
the
but
paper.
still
If you're not
won't smoke.
smoking right now, then I'm not smoking.
I still won't smoke.
No, I hear you. I don't smoke either. I'm just joking, right? But that's what I'm kind of saying, So
It has gone to a point where I even had to play with the dog. And I'm
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I love dogs. Luckily, I love dogs. Smoking
Right?
was not my thing, but I can do this.
Yeah,
So the
for
bigger-
sure.
Yeah.
but like also too in that listing appointment, it just shows that you've done a really great job on the relationship end, showing that you're a professional. So now it's like, okay, they're not signing, they're not doing anything. Okay, my job's done, time to move on, right? Like
That's what I did.
that's kind of what we have to do, because also too, it's also not a good look. I mean, in my personal opinion, if you're there and then you're chilling there for 4 or 5 hours, like, dude, do you even need to work? Like, what do you do?
No, yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unless it's a friend, cousin, family member, different story, right? But when we're talking
Yeah,
about new
business,
prospects and stuff, exactly. So yeah, I just think like intro call is more so just saying, thank you so much for the opportunity to connect with me. I really appreciate you, clicking on our social media post, and filling out the form so I can connect with you. I see that you live on 123 Main Street. You purchased it at this time. Is that correct? Cool. Tell me a little bit more about your house and yourself. Then they start talking, and then you start piecing everything together.
Yeah, the best is to prepare before you do hop on these calls.
100%.
I mean, I always
Yeah.
do it. Like you said,
Yeah.
I will definitely go back, the history of the house, what they did, what the tax assessment is, what's happening in the area, if there's any new development in the area. So I do that too as well. It
Perfect.
does help actually to cushion up the whole
100%.
conversation.
Because you seem like a professional. It's like a doctor or a lawyer. Okay, this is what's going on. Like, you trust them. Once there's trust and they're listening to you, like you got them. Now it's just about managing the conversation, asking the right questions to bring the motivation out. And then once the motivation is out, showcase that there's a solution, showcase that there's a little bit of a timestamp, and then showcase that you are the right vehicle to get it done. Let's sign here and let's move forward.
Yeah.
That's it. I know I make it sound easy, but guys, remember, I've been doing this for 7 years and I built my business off online leads. So like, you know how they say 10,000 hours, you're a master. I'm probably like 200,000 hours in. So like really great stuff. And a little bit about me too. One of my colleagues, one of my first team member that I brought onto the team, she hated real estate. She hated it. She was solo for a little bit. She was calling me all the time. And then the last 2 months, she kind of dropped off. So I followed up. She's like, honestly, Nick, I hate my life. I hate waking up. I hate not knowing what the hell I'm doing. I hate getting rejected. I feel like this is not working for me. And I feel I want to leave the business. I go, listen, I know what your problem is. Come work for me. In that 1 year, she made almost $200,000 in 1 year on a team. You don't hear that numbers.
Yeah.
So, I showed her the same way. And now she's a little Nikki. She's a little me, but girl version.
I like that.
Right. So, and that's kind of what it is. So just to let you know, I know how these conversations go. I know how those objections will happen. I know how to handle them. Not all of them. I haven't been through every single objection, but I've pretty much gone through 90% of them. So that's pretty much it, because there's always going to be one question that you hear one time in a year. That's like, wow, I never had that question asked before.
You guys, speaking of that, I would love to just like go through the room real quick and kind of ask, is there any question that Daisy, Patty, Amanda, like that you guys are still struggling with as far as initial objections? When you get on the phone and, hey, this is Amanda, I saw you signed up. Is there an objection that you're still like, oh man, I could have or they said this and I didn't know how to answer? Like, I know you guys are all like, you know what you're doing and it's been a while for all of you, for sure. But is there something that you're still kind of going back and like, I didn't handle that one very well. I could handle it better. I don't know. Like, I'm curious because I know that these objections can be there, very present with these leads. I see Patty. No, just coughing.
I don't really necessarily have one, but I could say sometimes I find they're really hard to get in front of. They're like, no, we just want like price over the phone. I'm like, I hate doing that. I'm not doing that.
I know. So great question, because I get that too. And I go, you know what, listen, at the end of the day, I can definitely give you an online range. However, it's like asking a mechanic to see what the problem is with your car without seeing that, right? And let me ask you a question. How would you feel if I gave you, a range, but when I actually came into the in-house range, it was actually 100K more? Would you want to know that sooner? Yes. Okay. You need me to come into the house.
Okay, it's cool.
That's kind of how do you see what I'm saying? But do you see how I like set them up for the question? It's like, yeah, you're right. Like, I would be upset. Okay, so then let me give it to you properly, because I also say too, like, if you don't have the right information, you can't make the right decision for yourself. You can't think of the right way to move, right? And you need someone to give you the right information, which I'm here to do that. And like I said, I'm not here to pressure you in any way, but I feel like in a field where there's so many real estate agents that really don't know what they're doing, you really need to find one like myself who knows what it is and have me come in to take a tour of your house. And like I said, at the end of the day, I understand what it is. I'm just here more so to take a tour and give you a more accurate range, because if you made more money on the sale of your home, I'm sure you would want that, because I understand how every dollar matters for you and your family and how important it is. You say it like that, they're gonna like, dude, like, when can you come in tonight? Like, you know, not all the time, but they really start getting to think, right? So what I usually say at that time, say, why don't we do this? I'm looking at my calendar. I have 2 days, Friday or Monday. Which date works best for you? Oh, I don't know. I have to talk to my husband. Okay, I understand that, but let's put a tentative date down, at least because my schedule gets really busy. And, you know, if you can't make it, no problem. We'll reschedule, but let's try putting you on Friday at 2:00. Would that work for you? Okay, perfect. Awesome. I'm going to message you the day before just to confirm that it's good for you. And we kind of go from there. And that's kind of how I tie them down. Even that last lead that I was calling about how he paid, you know, more over us for more for his house. I asked, you know what, if I could give you more, if that rate, like, I need to come in to see what the house is worth, because it could be increased more, right? And at that point, when I said increase more, he's like, yeah, come whenever. And that's how I locked down that appointment. So that's how I would try to do it, because we don't know. Sometimes they'll still say no, but if you say it like that and set them up with the question just before, they're going to be more motivated to say yes.
I would take that down, guys. I don't know how that sounded to you, like that you guys are on the field, but it was amazing. I liked it a lot. I know if I was a lead listening to that, like a mechanic, would you want me to just give you a price, like, without looking at it? It just makes so much sense. And I think it's about using metaphors as well, right? So
yes,
I really think that's a good one. And if you guys try it out, since I'm seeing all you guys, Daisy, Amanda, and Patty, like, if you guys try that line out, let me know how it went. Like, for sure, I want to hear about it.
Yeah. And
Hey,
like,
Nick,
yes.
when they say, they start talking about commission and they say, well, you know, I know Nick and Amanda and Daisy will do it for less. What's your response?
I love this objection. Okay, so basically, so yes, I understand that, you know, there's other agents that have different packages. Or no, sorry. I know that other agents may offer you lower commission, which is super attractive. However, what I do is actually, once I take a look at your house and do the tour, I have different packages, and it's all based on what your house needs in order to get you top dollar. So all I need is for me to come in and take a tour, and then I can go over the rates and what your house would need to make sure we can shine it up nice, put it on the market, and you get every dollar possible for you and your family. Does that sound good? There you go. Now you still got in the door. And once I come in, they're going to know I'm the shit. Sorry, I'm not like talking like I'm like the best, but like I go on a lot of listing appointments. I do 50 plus transaction a year. I think this year we might get to 75 to 100 plus a year. And I'm like 60-40 more listing heavy. So like, they're going to know that I'm the agent. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't usually lose. If I do, it's because of they already had like someone in the family that has to do it, and they feel like an asshole to not use them, but they really want to use me, which just happened last week. Or they might want to go with someone else that's lower commission, and that's totally cool. But my script more so is, let's say I know someone that can do it for 4%, and I'm saying I'm in the house doing whatever, and you're 5%. Why wouldn't I go with the 4% commission, right? And there's a few options on how you do it. Well, let me ask you a question. Are they providing you cleaners? Are they providing you really good professional photography, video, and drone on your property? Are they also offering you staging consultation and staging? And are they also going to get you 20 to 100K views on your videos on your listing? Are they going to be doing that? Or are they going to be the agent that's going to take photos with their phone, with their thumb here, and you're going to see that on the listing, on the MLS listing? Who do you think is going to showcase your property in the best light possible, so every buyer can come through with offers, waving it, saying, I want your house? I know cutting commission won't, and then this is where I go to. Also, too, at the end of the day, they're not going to be able to compete with me on the same level. So there's going to be some way that they're going to cut being a heavy listing agent and being in the industry for so long. A good listing agent needs to spend money back into your house to make sure that we showcase it in the best light possible, that buyers are going to want to really like, and then we can get you the most amount of money. Also, too, since I do more than 50 plus transactions a week, I know everyone can't say this, but for myself, I know that I'm buying and selling every week. Okay. You want someone that is on the field, in the ground, doing the work, seeing firsthand what's happening, rather than someone sitting back who's not a heavy listing agent and going based on numbers and don't know what the right strategy is. Right? So these are a lot of things. You're not just paying for that. You're paying for my knowledge and my success and all that. And in my book, I also have like 2 pages of testimonials. And I also go, hey, look, I'm so confident with my testimonials. Pick one or pick all of them. I'll give you all their numbers that you can call. You know, like, so I'm going so heavy into that they're going to be like, hey, Nick, like, I'm over it. Like, where do I sign? Because remember, some people have to try, right? They have to try. It doesn't mean that they have an actual agent, but they need to try. Like, I'm Italian. I'm going to try for a discount. It is what it is, right? Like, you know what I mean? So sometimes people have to feel like they're fighting for themselves, and that's it. And like, sometimes it goes like, well, can you offer me a lower package? Well, you know what? Based on what I'm offering for your house, no, I can't. Right? And then go, no, I can't. But what I can tell you is I'm going to do everything I can, and I will communicate to you effectively and on time. And I'm going to make sure that we do nothing but showcase your house in the best light to get you all the best offers. Let's continue. Okay, no problem. You know, and then they start signing and it's done.
Yeah, even I felt like that. I was like, okay, Nick, just take it away, sell my house.
Like, Nick, shut the fuck up. Just, where do I sign? Okay, you're right. Like, fine. Where do I sign? Right?
It's also about the confidence, right? Obviously, we're not all Nick. We're not all Italian. We don't all have the same way of saying it. But I feel like as long as we use the same base, which is confidence, right?
Yes.
And I know you girls, like, I know you have the confidence. So I feel like it's just using that, you know, this is what I have to offer. This is what I know and what I've done, which is what Nick is saying, right? And I just like to that. I like that because you guys can't about yourselves.
Exactly. And also too, what I say too, when they say discount, I'm like, oh, well, you know what, because I have different packages, right? Well, to be honest with you, like, this package I'm giving you is 5.5. So, I mean, like, I can charge you in 5.5 if you want, or do you want to continue with 5%? They're like, no, I want 5%. It's fine. And they just shut up and sign. I know I sound so rude, but I'm not. I'm just like, this is what I said from the beginning. I'm just a deep personality. I get it done. Like, I can't like shut up. I just, whatever I think in my brain just comes out. It got me in a lot of trouble, but I've been better. But like, oh my God.
It's good that you're using it to your favor, right, guys?
Yes. And one last thing before we end this conversation is going back on what Karen said, like saying about the mechanic. If you're talking to them and you find their occupation and it's a doctor or someone that's a computer analyst or whatever, use those type of metaphors. They're not going to understand the mechanic. Use those metaphors. You know, oh, you can tell, like, if you used an older computer to a computer up to date with all the newer systems and the newer technology, obviously, you know, it's going to run faster, right? Right. So you need to speak their language, because everyone is a different puzzle, and it's your job to figure out how to put that puzzle together like a Rubik's Cube.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best part and the most stressful part.
I like that.
You know, so don't worry, everyone. I'm going to be doing these calls bi-weekly. I know this was a lot. I know I'm a lot. I know I'm a lot, but it's all good. And I'm excited to help everyone get more success out of these leads and make more money and hit your goals and live the life that we deserve, because real estate is stressful. Real estate is a lot. And and people really value us when we're the right professionals, the right real estate professional for them. And we actually do what we say, and we change that mindset of, oh, real estate agents are crooks. I fucking hate it when people say that. It's like, maybe you hired a crook, but I'm not a crook. So please don't put me in that same category, or else, you know what? I don't even want your listing. Go hire another crook and you're going to get bent over. I'm ruthless. I'm not even going to lie, because I feel like people need to hear the truth. And when you know that someone's like, have you ever been in a scenario where someone has literally tapped out and they don't even care anymore? And you're just like, okay, I'm done. Whatever you want to do, I'm done trying. Right? So anyways, I know my metaphors are brutal, but gotta love me. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, follow me on Moretti Real Estate. I'll answer you through there. But yeah, if you have any questions, connect with me, connect with Karen or Eto, and they'll help that out too. So whatever you guys need, I'm here for everyone here. I'm excited for everyone. I hope I gave people not just one, but a few tidbits. And going forward, I will have other calls and other scenarios live dialed that's saved, so you can all hear what's going on.
Thank you.
I'm excited
Anytime.
for the live. Thank you, girls.
Let's get it. Let's make that money. Remember, we measure by conversations, not outcomes. So let's get that. Let's get on the phones. Let's make those calls. Let's get it done.
Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
Thank you all.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.